we can make a projection in California. The polls are closed as of now, and CNN projects that Californians have indeed voted yes on the state's newly drawn congressional district map, aiming to help Democrats win an additional up to 5 U.S. House seats in the 2026 midterm elections in 1 year. This victory marking a huge win for California Governor Gavin Newsom, a Democrat who framed this vote as a chance for his state to rebuke President Trump and to make it easier to deny him a Republican-controlled House for his final 2 years in office. Again, CNN projecting that Californians have voted yes on Prop 50 to implement the state's newly drawn U.S. House map. And CNN's anchor, Alex Michelson, is at the headquarters for California Democrats in Sacramento. Alex, this is a pretty quick call. The polls closed, and we said Prop 50 is going to win.
Yeah, I mean, this is a very quick call. It doesn't get any quicker than this, Jake. And what a big moment for the history of Governor Gavin Newsom. He bet big on this one. Imagine if he lost this race, how problematic that would be for him and for his future. He took a big bet, and he's winning big on this, sending a message not only here in California, but to the rest of the country. He has thought for years that the Democratic Party is too weak, and that the party is looking for somebody who will be stronger, not only in what they say, but in what they do. And essentially with this, he is getting points on the board for the Democratic Party in changing the congressional map at a time when a lot of people in the Democratic base have felt bewildered and have felt like nobody has been fighting for them. This, as a move for Governor Newsom, is not only helpful for him here, but as he's now finally saying, he's interested in potentially running for president. This has expanded his donor base around the country. It's increased his popularity in polls. It's increased his social media following in a big way. And it also may change and may inspire other governors in other states to move on the issue of redistricting. But this is probably the biggest night in the political life of Governor Newsom. We expect to hear from him behind me sometime soon.
All right, and we will bring that to our viewers when it happens. We are also still standing by to hear from Mayor-elect Zohran Mamdani, who we have projected will be the next mayor of New York. New York, the city so nice, they named it twice. And Dana Bash, we should note, so the Prop 50 victory in California tonight, this not only has repercussions for 2026, and the odds that Democrats will recapture the House have just increased. Mm-hmm. This also has serious repercussions for 2028 because Governor Newsom wants to be president too.
Yeah, and this, I mean, the fact that it's 3 minutes after the hour when polls close and it's just not even close.
So technically we called it 1 second after the hour.
Oh, okay.
So you know.
Okay, so maybe it was closer than we thought. No, I'm kidding. Look, this whole, as Ellis just said, this was a gamble by Gavin Newsom. I mean, he saw what was happening in Texas. He felt the outrage among Democrats, and he seized on it. And it wasn't even close.
And people opposed him at the beginning. Democrats opposed him at the beginning.
Big time, because if you look at what the recent history in California has been, is that an independent commission to decide the districts has been increasingly popular. And he said, no, this is not about that. He says it's going to be temporary, we'll see, and that's technically what the ballot measure says, but it's not about that. It's about not letting Trump get away with this. He made it about Trump. It is about Trump. And just like in every other race across these elections, it was 100% about Trump. And when it's in a state like California, where the Republican Party is weak at best, it was just a blowout.
And you can more easily spin things that are close. But we were able to project California the second the polls closed because the exit polling is just overwhelming. In New Jersey, the Democratic candidate for governor is winning by double digits. Right? The Democrat won it by only 3 points 4 years ago. Donald Trump narrowed it to 6 points in the presidential election. So Donald Trump made it closer. Republicans said, look at all this progress we're making. Nope. Mickey Sherrill wins by 13 points. In Virginia, Donald Trump narrowed it to 6 points. Republicans said, look at all the progress we're making. We're making Virginia purple again. We're taking it back to red. It has a Republican governor today, and the Democratic candidate is winning by double digits. In your home state, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, 3 Democratic state Supreme Court justices up. Last time I looked, they were all staying in their seats with a 60% plus margin.
And the governor, Josh Shapiro, had made a big issue about that.
And so in Georgia, they're winning these 2 Public Service Commission seats that they haven't held in 2 decades. So you're seeing big margins across the country. What does that tell you? That tells you voters are mad. The same cost of living and other anger at the establishment, anger at government that got Donald Trump reelected still exists. And he's in charge now, and they control both chambers. One quick thought. Number one, Trump's at 37%. David Chalian just mentioned the House math. At 37%, history tells you the other party will win at least 24 seats in the House. Now, sometimes we defy history, but that's the average. So tinkering with redistricting here and redistricting there, no matter what the final number is, may not be enough if it's that high. That's a projection for what happens a year from now. My big question is, what happens tomorrow? What happens tomorrow? How do these vulnerable House members, Republicans, whether you live in New York in the suburbs, and you saw what just happened in New Jersey. New Jersey's a big suburban experiment, right? If you are a Republican who represents a battleground suburban district, you're looking at Virginia and New Jersey, and you're saying, forgive me, holy shit. So do you come to work tomorrow and say, we need to end the shutdown, Mr. President? And if Donald Trump says no, do you find Democrats to do that with? Do enough Republicans stand up and say, Mr. President, we need to do things differently?
I've been hearing from some Republicans that may be what we start to hear tomorrow, that they are much more ready to work with Democrats to try to end the shutdown. But Jake, to go back to California and Gavin Newsom, one of the things that Democrats are demanding, that voters are demanding, is that their leaders fight Donald Trump and that their leaders fight for them. And the thing that Gavin Newsom did here was he changed. Dana made the point about this independent commission, right? Democrats have been defending rules and norms that Americans are saying are not working for them, right? They have been running on that. And Gavin Newsom said, you know what? If those Republicans in Texas are going to throw out the rules and throw out the norms, I'm going to do it too. And voters responded to that. And you're seeing also J.B. Pritzker in Illinois do it in his own way with the ICE raids that are happening in Chicago. I mean, there is a shadow presidential primary already unfolding. And a lot of it is about how can you both fight Trump, but also fight on the issues like affordability that we're talking about tonight.
One quick point on this that you just triggered in my head. You have Newsom, you have Pritzker, you have Shapiro in Pennsylvania. Now you have 2 new women Democratic governors in New Jersey. Democratic governors, there's going to be a lot of focus. Republicans are going to try to make it all about Mayor Mamdani, mayor-elect tonight, but Mayor Mamdani, and let them try. Midterm elections are about the president. Midterm elections are about 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue and how the country feels. But I do think Democrats have made a lot of progress in governor's races over the last several years. And you have a new class. When Bill Clinton brought the Democratic Party back, there was an interesting class of governors, both Democrat and Republican, around the country. You used to actually talk to each other about policy in a bipartisan way. Those days are over. But I do think, yes, we're going to focus a lot on Mamdani. Does that work in New York? There's a very interesting group of Democratic governors from all different parts of the country that I think have a chance to lead the party out of the wilderness, or at least try. And I think your point, they're all going to be on the road helping midterm candidates next year. And so welcome to the auditions.